Molly started putting emotes in the chat, and I was like, if we tip over into 604 while you're putting 603 emotes, it's gonna be real ironic.
I was excited for being on time for once.
But then it would have been funny if we weren't, because you just had to emote. But we did it.
We did it.
We went live at 603.
How do I get this to go away?
Click on the keyboard.
What keyboard?
Or click on the face. The emote.
Okay.
Meemaw.
That happens to me more often than I'd like to admit. Like, I'll go to put an emote or something like that in the chat, and then I'm like, how do I get the keyboard back? Hi, buddy.
Say hi, Hilo.
Can you see? Can everybody see Hilo poking his head out? Oh, he's mad because there's not a lot of room in here when we're streaming.
You can curl up under the table. I think we are gonna finish the Onyx Cinder today.
Let's do it.
We've got 4 bags left. 3 after this one. And then we'll finally go back to Jabba's sail barge, which the floor is just sitting right over there.
We did really just bounce on that set.
I like it. It's just like, oh, you got me the Onyx Cinder for Christmas, and Skeleton Crew is on, and we were enjoying it, and I was like, I want to build the Skeleton Crew set.
I wanted to build it too, or watch you build it, I guess I should say.
If I had known, not that you should have told me, but if I had known I was going to get this for Christmas, then I might have built something shorter.
But what's up to our channel members? We've got John DeLong, Andy Fang, Gio Flores, Jeannie from Tahini, Phantom Otaku, Lightspeed Bear. Hi, Gio. Gio says, hey guys, Molly, I thought of you when I pre-ordered Lady Gaga's signed CD and vinyl. Oh my god, I was gonna pre-order this special, like, purple edition vinyl that Spotify emailed me about. And I should have done it right away because it's sold out now.
Oh.
And I was like, well, fine. But yes, I am super excited for Gaga's new album. It's out early March. I gotta pick what piece of apparel I'm gonna get from what she's put out so far. Although I'm gonna wait till the album comes out because sometimes she'll release special stuff once it's already out.
I like, what's the new song?
Disease.
Disease. I like that a lot, yeah.
Yeah. It's a banger. We were just talking about this Lego set earlier. Christopher Davis asked if I will be building the Grogu set. I think I could handle that. It's not a big set. It's about the same size as the little one that I already have built.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you've already built a Grogu set. Like, that's old hat. You know how to build Grogu.
Well, this is Grogu in his pram.
Right. But yes, you pre-ordered that set, right?
I did. I think it's out in March, I want to say. But yes, we were thinking about what new sets are coming out soon. I was like, oh yeah, I can build that one.
The sail barge will probably take us a while, so if that comes out and you want to take another sail barge break, so you can build Grogu.
Maybe, we'll see. Yeah, the sail barge is huge.
It's not as big as like the Falcon or the Star Destroyer. I feel like we're making pretty good progress on it. And we're like so paranoid of it. Every time Hilo walks near the Lego cam, it's fine. It would be nearly impossible for him to pull the cables out, but still, if he even like breathes near the tripod, I want to make sure it's still working.
Don't jinx it. Is he laying on that audio cable?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's right here.
He makes his way in here no matter what to lay down somewhere, even though he doesn't fit very well. We've got like so many cables and lights and tripods and stands. It's a lot. What's on Molly's shirt? Asks Nora. It is Queen Amidala a vintage tie-dye Queen Amidala shirt that Silver got me. Star Wars thrifting. She has the best thrifted shirts that, like, the ones like these, because I looked and tried to find one of these a couple years ago on eBay, and they go for a lot, but she just finds them at, like, yard sales and
I'm
stuff.
like, what kind of luck do you have? I mean,
Well, she
she's
goes
out,
to San Francisco
right. So I get it,
yard
but
sales and, like, estate
I
sales.
can't imagine like going to any garage sales around here and finding something so crazy. But every weekend she's like, here's all this crazy stuff I found.
Honestly, you never know, because I bet there's a lot of people that don't realize some of their old Star Wars junk is worth a lot of money now, especially like a tie-dye shirt like this.
All right, still going. He bumped the tripod.
Wait, Christopher Davis said I saw it at Target today.
That?
No, the Lego set. That would be crazy.
You talk up that shirt. Like I literally just saw it.
Grogu Lego set. Is it out already? Target.
Maybe it's being sent soon.
See, sometimes when you pre-order stuff from Lego, it'll be like, oh no, we don't have it. I'm like, well, great. Well, Target has it. I should have just pre-ordered it from there.
But you pre-ordered a while ago, right?
I did, yeah. Or did I?
Girl, I don't know.
Girl, help. It says it's in stock at our Target. That's bananas.
Are you sure you pre-ordered it? Check your email
No,
after.
I'm not. Okay, well, we'll figure that out.
Way to go, Chris. Now she gets to go to Target.
I haven't had a nice Target walk around in a while. I can also do curbside pickup, which is probably better for me, that I just don't go into the store.
I feel like I left a piece in the bags. And I put all the bags in the box.
You didn't check?
I mean, I dumped them out and then I just assumed.
Corey's datapad says, if Ottawa has a big enough Star Wars fan base to get 30 copies of Assault at Salonia in every thrift store, I'm sure Atlanta has a decent shirt somewhere. It's true. Somewhere there's a thrift store probably that has these. Although the thrifting vintage t-shirt game in Atlanta is pretty strong. There's a lot of shops
That's
that
true.
go and like scout stuff and then buy it to resell it like 50 times its value. Because a lot of hipsters will go to Little 5 Points and buy that stuff.
All right, that's all the bags. Yep. One lone piece at the bottom of the box.
What piece was it? In the little tiny bag. Oh.
Just this.
Hi, Brian. Brian says he likes my glasses. Thank you. The glare is probably really bad, but I've decided that I need them to read.
I need them for eyesight.
I've decided.
I think your doctor decided.
Well, what do they know? Hello, Asti has the first super chat of the night. Thank you. What is one food item Alex wishes he could fully taste? So, quick backstory. Alex has anosmia. He's never been able to smell. Might never, probably will never be able to.
Probably not. So, maybe sweet potatoes, just to see what all the hype's about.
Not cookies or ice cream or...
Well, I feel like I like cookies already. So I don't like sweet potatoes, and it's much more the texture than the taste to me. But everyone seems to love sweet potatoes except for me, and so I feel like maybe I'm missing something out with sweet potatoes. So I'll go with them, and I'll just see. And then if I don't like them, I'll be like, oh well, I'll just keep not eating them.
What if you only get one shot and you taste them and you're like, yeah, I still don't like them.
Yeah, then
Then that
it's not a huge loss.
your one shot is gone.
But what if I eat like a cookie and it's just an amazing cookie, and then I'm not able to go back to.
He is laying on that cord.
Yeah, okay. Well, he just moved. Pull it off. So if I had like an amazing cookie and then I went back to not eating like the full taste of a cookie, then I would probably hate it.
That's true. I don't want to ruin your cookie experience for life. All right, well now Hilo's like right up under me.
Well, that's what you get.
Emily says, I'd miss vanilla. Vanilla smells wonderful. You are correct. Did you talk to any doctors anytime recently about it?
No, it's been 10 years, probably no more than that.
I just remember seeing all these videos of like deaf babies hearing for the first time. What if they had some kind of technology that could fix your nose and you could start smelling?
I'd be interested. I'm not like desperate to get it fixed. I don't know what I'm missing, and whatever. All Gatorade tastes the same. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, from what he tells me, it mostly comes down to like artificially flavored things, especially like candy, fruit flavored candies, like Gushers, Starburst. They kind of all the flavors taste the same.
That's the easiest way to describe it, yeah.
But like that makes me think that you're just not tasting a lot of anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, I probably like I get sweet, I get savory, I get salty, but flavors, that's difficult.
Hi, Sean Sully. Sean says, I've been ordered to stop doom scrolling, so now I'm here.
That's
Welcome.
Good job, Jill. Me and Sean were working each other up earlier.
We can't doom scroll if we're doing this, so that's good. Corey's datapad says, did you try asking anyone who told you got your nose as a kid who just didn't give it back?
Yeah, my uncle ruined my life.
You should make that joke and see what they say.
He'd probably get a kick out of it. He would probably need to be reminded that I can't smell first.
Yeah. Let's see. Alex the Hiker, thanks for the super chat. Having seen neither, should I watch The Office or Parks and Rec first? Start with episode 1, season 1, or skip ahead?
First?
Ooh.
Like, I think I'd still go Parks.
Yeah.
I mean, The Office kind of set the stage for Parks and Recreation.
That's what I was going to say. The Office is kind of the show that put that kind of show on the map and got really huge because of it. But The Office just kind of really gets run into the ground to the point where, like, I just didn't even really like the last season.
I remember we stopped watching it when it was on. We have since watched the whole series. But yeah, that last season, I just kind of, like, stopped caring. Parks and Recreation has... I don't want to disparage season 1, because we like season 1, but it's not nearly as good as the other seasons. So I would say that it has like kind of an iffy start, which so does The Office. Both of them have like a 6-episode season 1 that's okay. And then in season 2 for both of them, exponentially better.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if you're going to watch Parks and Rec from season 1, episode 1, just know that it finds its footing after the first 6 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoy season 1, but I think it's mostly because watching season 1 of that show makes the rest of the show better. Like, it makes it more fulfilling, I think, having seen just like how far it's come.
But yeah, Parks and Recreation does not just kind of like peter out the way The Office did.
Yeah. Hi, Jane.
It's just 7 strong seasons.
Have you seen the Superfan episodes of The Office? Yeah, I don't know.
Some of them.
We've seen some of them because they did it for Parks and Rec too.
So The Office will have like probably some of the Christmas episodes that we will go back and rewatch.
Yeah. Because I forget when it was. We do a Parks and Rec rewatch like every year. But at some point, we watched it and we were like, we don't remember this part.
I think it was last year.
It was weird. I was like, we've seen this show a million times. Why is this scene not familiar? And just come to find out that like built into the seasons on Peacock are the Superfan episodes.
It's only like the last 2 seasons, which is strange.
It is weird. But yeah, let us know what you think of it if you start watching.
The Office is a lot cringier. Parks and Rec is more like upbeat and hopeful and happy.
Mm-hmm. Haja says, stay on target. Happy shopping. Stay in Target. Yeah, I might have to. Well, first I got to find out if I actually pre-ordered it, which probably not the case. I probably just
You've
imagined
been talking about that set for
that
months.
I did. It's because I knew I could build it.
But you said that you pre-ordered it and kept repeating that for months.
I guess because I thought it wasn't coming until March. So that's why I didn't have it yet. And I was like, surely I pre-ordered that. I don't know. Lego should just send it to me. That would be nice. Box Xanadu says, "Hey guys, do you think there will be another main Star Wars comic series but set between episodes 6 and 7?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
They announced that last week.
It is coming out. When is that coming out?
May 7th.
So yeah, it picks up after the Battle of Endor, after the Battle of Jakku, which happened somewhat recently after the Battle of Endor.
Yeah,
like
just 1 year.
1 year, okay.
So it's going to pick up right after Jakku and then just go from there. I kept on saying, people pointed this out rightfully in the comments of our podcast. I kept saying that they had 8 years until they got to The Mandalorian.
I saw
which
those
they only have
comments.
4 years. But like I don't know why I have so much trouble with that era specifically. And they're always like, I remember Jon Favreau kept saying it's 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And I'm like, but that's not BBY years. So then I'm having to like go, okay, Battle of Yavin plus 3 for Empire plus 1 for Return of the Jedi plus 5. And it's like, I keep having to do the math for that. And then in my head, I went just Yavin to Mando. And I was like, they have 8 years. I'm like, nope, just dumb math. Can't do it anymore.
One of us needs to be able to do math.
Well, I've been the math guy.
And it ain't gonna be me.
I've been the math guy for a long time. Maybe it's your turn. That only seems fair.
It's too late for me, son. Sean says, "No, the colorblind glasses are a scam. I got so angry that BS. Don't trust the miracle. Such and such does X for the first time."
Oh.
So like you being able to smell, we shouldn't trust anything that says that. Little like glasses for your nose.
That would be a funny like parody video of, like child hears mother's voice for the first time. Like husband smells wife's fart for the first time. Just like my very first smell. Like, ugh, ugh.
You would
Take it back.
you would probably throw up. Not because my farts
That's
smell
what
that
it sounds
bad,
like. Your farts smell real bad.
because you'd never smelled a fart before. Disabled Danny, thank you for the super chat. Just says, I would give more, but I am on SSDI. No worries. We appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Was it Danny? Thanks, Danny.
Dino Park Dan says, quite the admission, Molly. Don't act like your farts don't smell. We're all human.
Mine don't.
Not according to you.
Nope.
I tell you every time that they do, and you laugh.
I do.
Stephanie Z says, do you guys think that the Sith are gone from any Star Wars projects after ROS?
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Whenever it's just ROS and not TROS, I'm like, what's that?
Sith or Skywalker?
Revenge of Sith? Sorry. Do you think the Sith are gone from any projects after the Rise of Skywalker, or do you think we will still see more stories with them in Star Wars going forward in the timeline? I can't imagine the Sith would be gone forever, but I do think moving forward, like the Rey movie, for instance, or any movie set after Rise of Skywalker, I think we'll see a different kind of threat that is not really related to the Sith.
I think they should be gone for a little bit. I agree that, you know, just like the Jedi, they can get wiped out. That doesn't mean that people aren't gonna learn what the Jedi were and return. I hope that the Sith are done for a while. Like, I think Darth Bane's lineage is gone. The Sith Order as we know it is gone. But that doesn't mean some upstart can't be like, oh, I read these ancient teachings and I think those Sith, I like those Sith for whatever reason, and they're going to bring it back. I fully think that's a possibility, but I hope that they leave it alone for a little bit just so we get some different villains.
Yeah, because I'd rather them go back in time and show us some cool Old Republic Sith stories rather than try to bring them back after such a big deal of like Palpatine being like, I'm all the Sith. And he's like, for sure dead now, right, Disney? Right? So, yeah, let's go backwards and just, we've never really gotten to see like live action Old Republic Sith in canon, so let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Rob You Blind asked if we could afford it, would we get the Lego Death Star set? Like the big one?
Well, I think they're doing a new one this year.
Are they?
I think that's the rumor.
See,
so we'll see.
I don't know where we would put it.
I mean, we say that for literally everything.
I know, but like it's a big sphere. You'd have to get a big stand for it, and like some of our sets we can at least put on shelves, but I feel like that would stick out a lot. I don't know where we would put it. But if
we're going to see how big it is and how much it is.
Yeah, if it's cool enough, yeah, we'll buy it.
I'm like, I don't know why I was never super interested in the one that they had before that was like half play set.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just didn't. Like, I guess at this point in my almost 40s, I like having just the cool looking display pieces.
Mm-hmm. Jane says rumor is $1,000.
Woof.
That checks out for Lego, honestly.
That's more than the Falcon.
See, if they made a slightly smaller one, I'd get that and maybe like hang it. Finally, we could hang one.
I
but
think they did make a one that was like that big.
We probably couldn't hang the $1,000 one. Yeah, we have the one that's like the size of the helmets.
Oh, we do?
where the laser's coming out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, gotta take inventory of our backlog of sets.
Yeah, I should have done that before I moved all of them. Jared has the next super chat. Ted Lasso question. Do you two hate Nate? Hashtag believe. Well, I did hate Nate for most of the last season.
Yeah, I
But
mean, like,
he found his way back. Although definitely not fully redeemed in my opinion. He was just so easy to hate.
Yeah, I mean, that was the point. I was like struggling with him, but I kind of understood. I think they could have done like a better job in season 2 of exploring his frustration. Like, I kind of get it, but no, I don't. At the end of season 3, no, I didn't hate him.
But
Oh, that's cool. You can do KB with her visor up or down.
Oh, cute. What's her hair look like?
Like that.
Cute.
Little bit Karen, not so much.
Oh.
KB has kind of like a side undercut.
Oh yeah, I see that. It's not like flipping under too much. It's not full. That's not really a Karen haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Andy says I still hated what he did, but not him. You could tell like that show is so well written that even at the point of when you're supposed to hate him the most, you still know that he's like struggling.
Look, Ted forgave him, and I'm like, he wronged Ted. So if Ted forgives him, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And I liked his line about, I hope that we're all judged by our best moments or our worst, like collectively. And just when he has that line to Coach Beard that, like, come on, you've made mistakes too. And if you were judged by your worst moment, you wouldn't come off so well. And that's what like prompts him, Coach Beard, to go forgive him. So I did like that line.
Yeah, it's nice that show teaches us that forgiveness is just as important.
It's more than saying sorry.
Yes. It's just as important as everything else, and it's something that potentially can get harder to do as you grow older, but you gotta just let stuff go.
Maybe after Andor, it's like we were talking last week or in our podcast about how we just finished a Parks and Rec rewatch and Skeleton Crew, and now we're getting ready to rewatch Andor. We already started The Last of Us season 1 rewatch. We're getting onto all these like very heavy shows, so maybe when Andor season 2 is over, we'll do a Ted Lasso rewatch, and because we're going to be watching Andor season 2, Last of Us season 2 at the same time. It's going to be a heavy couple months.
Yeah. What's a few more heavy things to put on our plate?
Right. Not. At least that'll all be fiction.
For now. Sure does seem like it's inspiring.
Bring on the fungus zombies.
Some people. Jedi.
Sorry, we shouldn't. Sean's here to try to not doom scroll. We
Sean,
should not.
Don't doom scroll. I see you. I see you through my computer screen. Painting minis. I hope that's exactly what he's doing. He's like, what?
I mean, pretty easy guess.
I know, right? Oh, someone in chat said to watch Shrinking. We love
yeah,
Shrinking.
Shrinking was great. We watched season 1, liked it a lot, and then I forget what was going on that we kind of missed the first few episodes of season 2, and we were like, we'll get to it. And then we were finally like, okay, we have some time. Let's just throw the first episode of season 2 on, and like blew through it. I forgot how much I liked it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's so good.
Wow. Sean says he sadly hasn't painted a mini since November. Marvel Rivals is a hell of a drug. Damn, everyone's talking about that game. Maybe I should try it.
I don't think you'd like it.
Probably not. I wonder if what was that event from November? Did you get all minied out?
Oh, the grand narrative.
Yeah. Okay. Jedi Master Fonz says, "Hey guys, do you think one of the rumored animated shows could be set in the High Republic? I think the timing would be perfect with the book's ending."
That would be rad.
I would love that. Do I think that's what's happening? No, but I would be pleasantly surprised if it was.
I would be too, just to soften the blow of the books and comics coming to an end. We got that Trials of the Jedi cover reveal and the synopsis. Oh man. Two comics that came out today I really, really liked. Two of the High Republic comics. Dispatches from the Occlusion Zone. That series has been okay. Like, they've just been little side stories, not absolutely necessary to read or anything. But the art for this one was so cool. Vincenzo Riccardi.
Your blute about it.
I was reading them last night at like midnight. I got home from D&D and the comics had unlocked, so I was like, I'm gonna wind down and read these. And there were two frames that I was just like, oh my god, like just staring at them.
What was happening in those frames, by the way? Because I saw them.
Yeah, Ty Yorick
like,
answers a distress call.
Poison ivy?
It's a Lanto plant mage. She
mage?
uses the Force to control plants, so it is very much a poison ivy kind of thing. But yeah, the art on that, like his art style, I just really like it.
I closed all my rings.
You haven't stood up in a while.
It's true. I guess I had already closed that one because I've been getting up early.
I figured standing was your last ring to close. And then the other one was Echoes of Fear. That series, I'm kind of surprised it wasn't more promoted, just because that feels like a direct sequel to Tears of the Nameless, which was a great book. And they just build off of that with this comic series. And I was like, I feel like this is necessary reading.
Oh. Well, I've been getting into the comics and really enjoying it. So I'm like 65% done with Tears. And then I will read those, maybe. Possibly. The two that I read today, I didn't read them today, but they came out today. The Ewoks, number 4. Oh, and the Legacy?
A New Legacy, yeah.
A New Legacy. And I really liked Charles Soule's story in that one.
I saw some people not crazy about Momin being used for comedic relief.
Oh, I loved it.
I did too, and I love Momin. I think he's a really cool character, but to me, so they, he looks at this art piece and he's like, oh, it's mine. It's on display here centuries later. And he looks and it says artist unknown and he gets pissed off. I kind of think that's in line with a Sith of him just yelling like, say my name, like you should know me.
He wants credit.
Yeah, he's very selfish and self-centered. That's what Sith are. So he would be furious that his art didn't come with the recognition.
Also, I bet sometimes when someone puts that helmet on, I think he realized what kind of situation he was in and he just wanted to have a little fun.
Yeah.
He put on a little outfit.
He was like, oh, I'm at an art gallery.
I'm at a party.
Yeah, and he was like, all right, let me look at some art.
And then he ruined it by making a scene.
By making it about himself.
We all know that friend.
Momin is usually, yes, used as a very spooky, like, don't look at the helmet, don't touch the helmet, definitely don't put on the helmet.
Yeah.
But this time I was like, let Charles have a little fun.
I know. If anyone's going to do a story like that, and play Moment a tiny bit comedically, it should be
I mean,
Charles.
yeah, because he created the character. I think he's the only person who's ever written for Momin. So
Yeah.
yeah, let him have some fun with his own creation.
And there was a cool um background character in that, one of the stormtroopers. What was his name?
Terex.
Terex.
Yeah,
I saw some people saying some stuff about him, and I didn't know who he was, so I asked you and I looked him up, and I was like, oh, he does have a good bit of
hmm
info on his
he,
Wikipedia
he
page.
was a major character in the Poe Dameron comics.
So that was a cool like addition. That was a neat comic. It was like three little stories. So the first one was the Momin Dr. Afra story. Momin, Dr. Afra, Valance, some other
Rick Duel.
Rick Duel, which is such a cool name.
He's a goofy ass character.
Oh
Though.
yeah, I got that from just the one or two lines that he had in this comic.
He hasn't been in like the last 10 years a lot though. So I was kind of surprised that he was included.
Hmm.
He was in one Revelations comic, which is kind of a similar thing as the New Legacy, where it's a collection of stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mark Guggenheim wrote that, and it was very funny. But that's the only like past 10 years story he's been in. So I was like, huh, maybe they're trying to keep him around. Maybe they're gonna include him in something down the line. I don't know.
Hmm. The Scar Squadron story was okay. I don't know much about. I mean, I know who they are, but I like haven't read them in other stuff, so their story was just kind of meh for me.
Par for the course.
They seem so like, I mean, I know they're not good guys and we shouldn't root for them, but they seem so easy to hate.
So I realized I was recording my Patreon like comic reaction, and the story is about them realizing that no one views them as heroes anymore. Like that back in the early days of the Empire, kids thought that they were awesome, and now no one thinks they're awesome. And I was like, oh, maybe that's a meta commentary.
Oh, it surely is.
That like when they were introduced, they seemed awesome, and then they kept popping up and never really did anything cool. And I was like, oh, okay, they're basically just stormtroopers with flair.
Yeah. One of them has a lightsaber, and I was like, oh, people might like think that's cool.
It was cool. Like his introduction, that character was really cool. But that was like in 2015 that he first appeared.
Um, I don't know how we got off on that tangent from High Republic animated show, but yes, we are
Oh yeah.
both super down for that.
Oh, I started talking about the High Republic comics that came out.
Yeah. And you're right, the timing would be perfect. Andrew711 asks,
Hold on. But the question of do we think that's the next?
could be set in, do we think it could be set in the High Republic?
I'm not expecting it, but it would be a nice surprise.
That's what I said. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think so. But surprise me, Disney. I dare you. Andrew711 asked, will we ever get a Star Wars Parks and Rec series?
Like a mockumentary.
I mean, you could go back and watch the Matt the Radar Technician skit from SNL. That's probably the closest we would get to something like that, because that's basically what the skit is.
Or yeah, with the talking heads and stuff. The old fan film Troops is kind of like that. I don't think we're gonna get an official. But if Ann Porkins is in the chat, that'll be your time.
That has to be a character.
Yeah, I don't see them ever doing like a real mockumentary series unless Star Wars gets way more flexible and will do something like Star Trek Lower Decks where that's like let's just have some goofy fun with our franchise, but yeah, I don't see Star Wars doing that.
I do wonder, like, in the far far off future, when
What's going on?
like George Lucas is not around, and when the people that are currently in charge at Lucasfilm are not around, I wonder what the franchise is going to look like, and if that could be something we got down the line when just like completely different people are in charge. I don't know. I honestly, I would be down for them to like shake things up and do something really different,
The
but
fact that
the
they
fandom just freaks out when that happens, and then the companies freak out because they're afraid they're not going to make billions of dollars. And
they shut down Star Wars detours from happening.
oh yeah,
So to me, I'm like, yeah, I don't think they're up for doing anything goofy, at least not in the near future, unless it's Lego.
boo. Yeah, Lego or like a kid's cartoon. This is a fun question. Another super chat from LOASD. The screen just went black and I was making sure everything was okay.
This screen?
And that screen, yeah. And it was right when Hilo got up, so I was like, no, check the Lego cam. She's working great. Okay. LOASD super chat is, what's your ranking for the following artists? Chapel Roan, Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie XCX. I know mine. I want to hear yours.
Chapel Roan, and I don't know the other two nearly as well. So probably Sabrina and Charlie.
Interesting.
I I know I've heard. I think I would recognize more songs as and go like, oh, that's Sabrina Carpenter. Even though I know I've heard a lot of Charlie XCX songs,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would be like, that's who that is. I'd probably go, who's this again? Remind me.
So I think my order, I'm saying Chapel Roan first because I think she's a, I don't want to say she's a better songwriter, but she has more depth, I think. She definitely has more depth than Sabrina Carpenter. Charlie XCX has been around for a long time, and she has a little bit more like experience, and I feel like I respect her a little more as a artist, especially after Brat came out. Like she's been out for a long time, and when Brat started getting big, all the young people were like, I'm obsessed with Charlie XCX, which is great, but she's like, I've been here, y'all. So Sabrina Carpenter is going on my number 3, sorry. She looks like she was created from AI, which is great, and we love that for her. But I think she was
Doesn't
created.
sound like you do.
I think she was created by executives to make money.
Ah,
Like, I don't think that's her personality at all. But I would love to be proven wrong. B Depp says, I don't know any of them. I'm old. We've been there, trust me.
oh, I only know new artists when Molly plays them for me. I was late to the Chapel Roan party, but I really like that whole album.
Oh yeah.
I kind of made an entire wedding party dance to Hot to Go. I was like, I made sure all the
You didn't make the
groomsmen.
dance, you had them do
No,
the
I
dance.
made sure the groomsmen. I was like, I know that Hot to Go is going to happen tonight, and we should all know this dance. And then the bridesmaids heard that we were practicing it, and they were like, oh, now we're all definitely doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were excited to do the dance.
She just like really blew up. Part of that I think was maybe it was TikTok that helped. I don't know. That's kind of where I first saw her. I saw her Tiny Desk concert on a random TikTok, and I started following her from there. I was gonna say something else and I forgot what it was. I'll remember it at some point. Okay, moving on. I appreciate the song artist questions, LOST. Thank you. Bakey asks, why was Darth Vader already plotting killing Palpatine before he fought Obi-Wan when he was talking to Padme?
What? In Revenge of the Sith?
He doesn't specify. Why was Darth Vader
before he
plotting killing Palpatine before he fought Obi-Wan when he was talking to Padme?
He
so
said,
Anakin.
Yeah. I mean, he was Darth Vader at that time, but...
Well...
It is one of those things where, like, we kind of still refer to him as Anakin outside of the suit. Anyway, he tells Padme, like...
He hadn't been given the name yet.
Yeah.
Formally. Had he?
Yeah.
So he had...
Sidious does it, like, right after he cuts off Mace Windu's hand.
Okay. I haven't watched that movie in a while. I don't...
That's not true.
What? When did I watch it?
I don't know. We have those movies on, like, all the time.
What? Nuh-uh.
You've certainly seen it in the past year, I mean.
Have I?
It's not important. But right after he cuts off Mace Windu's hand.
Yeah, I know that that's when he gets the name, but I guess I'm confused as to when the scene happens where he's talking to Padme.
Oh, I did that wrong, didn't I? Did I? But yeah, why? Because he's a Sith. Like, that's what Sith do.
That's what they do, yeah.
It doesn't matter that he's like, oh, I just got a brand new cool master. Like, no. Once you start craving power like that, you want more. And so Anakin, Vader, whoever you want to call him, immediately was like, I'm going to take his spot. And me and Padme are going to rule together.
Because he thinks now that he's embraced the dark side, he's got everything he needs.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to be stronger than the Emperor. Like, I'm going to... Why would I sit around and serve him?
Which, I wonder if that would have been true. But Palpatine just had so many things prepped and in place, ready to go.
He does tell Yoda that Darth Vader is going to be stronger than either of us. But that's before he got all burnt up. So
poor crispy Anakin.
Man, it's hard to get off.
Here's a good side question from chat. I'll have you answer this one. Rate the following artists: Big Grindan and the Modal Nodes, or Max Rebo Band. There's no third option.
Oh, Max Rebo, Fig and Dan. I think we talked about this in our tier list with Thank the Maker podcast.
Yeah.
But I know Modal Nodes have at least 2 songs, but I think Max Rebo, they've got more hits. Fig and Dan, they feel like kind of a one-hit wonder situation. Yeah, they have more songs, but everyone knows them for Mad About Me. But Max Rebo Band, Laptine Neck, Jedi Rocks.
Plus
that other one.
Plus they all have like solo careers too, right?
Who? The Max Rebo Band?
Like the band members.
Well, I mean, yeah, like Sice Noodles got her start away from the Max Rebo Band. Max Rebo kept on performing with new people after the first band exploded.
Yeah.
So
he was like, this is my thing. I gotta keep going. All right. A very well, I won't say it's a non-Star Wars question.
I did
Uh,
do that right.
Matthew Cullinad asks, is AOC going to disintegrate Trump in the Oval Office to complete the US's political Star Wars saga ripoff?
Disintegrate? What?
You heard me. Are we gonna get
I'm
a?
trying to follow who disintegrates Palpatine. Is she gonna throw him down a reactor shaft?
I don't know if
Oh,
disintegrate.
okay, we're talking Rise of Skywalker.
Sure.
That okay, that's more of a disintegration, I think, than
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I would love to see that.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Oh, you're dropping F-bombs
Sorry.
on the stream now?
Sorry. This is exactly what we were trying to keep Sean from doom scrolling. Sean and I were getting ourselves all worked up earlier, but man, it's just a mess.
We don't have to talk about it. But
But
no, I don't think we're getting any Star Wars saga ripoffs in
well, we are,
the
but
government.
we'll just see how far it goes.
Consider my pearls clutched, says Dino Park Dan.
I mean, it definitely feels like we're gonna be ripping off Andor. It'll be interesting to see what season 2 covers.
Yeah.
Ripping off Andor. I mean, just like Tony Gilroy talked about how they wrote season 1 to be kind of timeless in a sense. Like he wasn't just looking at present day politics. He was looking at the history of the world, and people were like, "Wow, this is so timely for today." And he was like, "Yeah, but it's also like we based this exact event on this exact historical event."
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of meant to do both and just show like how history repeats itself.
We are certainly in scary times, so I'll leave it at that.
Goes.
Eric Epley has the next super chat. Thank you, Eric. Hi, Molly and Alex. Thank you for being a positive light in the Star Wars fandom. Recently, your videos have gotten me through a lot, and I look forward to every post and VOD. May the Force be with you. Thank you, Eric.
May the Force be with you too.
I am always glad to hear that our content helps people out, because sometimes we just feel like we're feeding the beast, you know?
Yeah.
But we are doing good. I will stand by that.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Dang it.
Dang it.
I'm sorry I dropped an F-bomb. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah. And mine aren't really in regards to very serious topics. Let's see. Fabricio? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but thank you for the super chat. Just started the Revan novel. Thoughts on it? It says Raven, but I'm pretty sure they meant Revan.
That's so Revan. Man, I have to travel back in time to pre-college days, which I don't know. I realized that
Which book is that? Is it just called
Revan?
Revan?
If I'm remembering correctly, it kind of takes place. I can't remember if it like summarizes some of KOTOR or not, or if it just takes place after it. This is why we need to like we're starting up a Legends book club in our Patreon, kind of as an excuse to get back into Legends stuff and refresh my memory. Even though we're starting with the Thrawn trilogy, and that's still very well in there. But a lot of the stuff that I read in like my later high school years, I feel like I didn't engage with it as much. So I liked just about everything. I was pretty much the way I am now. If it was Star Wars, I liked it. So I don't remember having any hard opinions about the Revan book, but it's never been at the top of my like oh, you've got to read Revan.
Mm.
When I talk about Legends, I'm always like Darth Plagueis, Darth Bane, the X-Wing books, the Heir to the Empire trilogy. Like that stuff is more at the top of my mind. That stuck with me. So sorry, I don't really have any like hard and fast opinions on the Revan novel.
I don't want anything to do with Revan unless it's a woman.
Well, then you should finish your KOTOR playthrough.
I'm kidding. That's not true. I would love it if Keanu Reeves played Revan, but I mean, it's possible. Someone else could play Revan, and it could be a woman.
I do like talking about Revan, especially because in Legends, the canon version was a man. But when I talk about canon current Revan, I always say they because we do not know.
That is
And some people get real mad when I do that, and it always makes me laugh.
because they know what you're implying. If you were,
I'm just leaving the option open. We do not know.
yeah. People get so worked up about stupid words. Gosh. But yeah, the first, so I've never read any Legends books, but I think my first adventure into Legends books will be the Thrawn trilogy.
You got to finish Tears and get started because you
I
only have
know.
like 4 months.
That should be long enough.
It should be.
In the audiobook says I only have like a little over 3 hours left, so I could just power through it in a day, but that's 3 hours that I get a lot of other stuff done. So it's tough. Christopher Ford says, love Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Splinter of the Mind's Eye, I know gets a bad rap. That's another one that I was like, it's Star Wars, and I'm. How old was I when I read that? 10?
That was like one of the first ones, right?
Oh, yeah, Splinter. For some reason, I went to the Crystal Star, which that gets a real bad rap. Splinter of the Mind's Eye was the first novel. Man, my brain is just going.
That's okay.
But yes, Splinter of the Mind's Eye was the first Star Wars novel outside of A New Hope novelization.
That came out between the first movie and Empire?
78, I think. 77 or 78.
So that was like everybody's like first introduction to Star Wars book.
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure Luke and Leia kiss some more.
Oh no.
He also slaps her. Like it's part of a
it was the 70s.
It's part of an undercover thing. He doesn't want to do it, but like still. I think like she was undercover as his servant while the Empire was spying. Yeah. I can tell you more. But that's where Mimbin came from.
Mm-hmm. Ricky Jones says, "Oh, I forgot about the slap." Who wrote that? Was it like
Alan Dean Foster?
Was he like an established book writer by then?
I think so. He wrote the Star Wars novelization.
Because I feel like he had no idea potentially what he was getting himself into, depending on I guess when he started writing it. But you wouldn't know like how big this franchise was gonna be.
He was just hired to write the Star Wars novelization, and then I think before the movie came out, he was hired to write this, and it was going to be like if Star Wars weren't a big hit, but Lucas wanted to make another movie, it was going to be this because it would have been a much lesser budget, just Luke and Leia, Vader's in it. A lot of it takes place on this swampy, foggy planet. So that was the idea.
Oh, Alan Dean Foster also wrote the novelization for The Force Awakens.
Yes, he did.
Look at him. Sticking with it. Good for you, Alan. You love to see it.
Oh no. Did that? Dang it.
Oh, PLD Projects. What's up, PLD? Thank you for the super chat. I always miss these live streams, so I just wanted to show my support. I'm so old that when you say Chapel Roan, I think you're talking about a Jedi from the High Republic. That's okay, PLD.
Not a bad Jedi name.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if someone slipped a Jedi design in one of like the comic books or something that was kind of a nod to Chapel. I don't know how they would do that, but that would be really cool.
There'll be a Pink Bantha Club somewhere in one of the comics.
Pink Bantha Club, yes.
Now I'm double checking every bag to make sure I don't throw pieces away.
Ice has a super chat. Thanks, Ice. This kind of pertains to what we were talking about earlier with Padme, but it's not even remotely Padme's character to take the title in any capacity, but I've seen so many fan arts of her and Anakin as Emperor/Empress over the years. It's a fun what if to play with. Oh yeah, people love imagining Padme, I think, is like a potential bad character.
There was some interesting stuff with Sabe in the Greg Pak Darth Vader run where she and Vader meet and they start working together and she realizes that's Anakin and kind of tries to save him.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he's like fixating on Sabe because looks just like his wife.
Yikes.
But she has like a little kind of dark side turn. Not, it's all like undercover sort of thing, but he's like trying to pull her to the dark side. So she gets some cool Imperial armor at one point. And
man, what a difference. Anakin, like Hayden Christensen trying to pull you to the dark side versus giant metal and plastic man. I'm just saying. One of them could pull me and one of them could F off.
Which one? Leather Daddy?
I'm not saying. Pigpen chimed in the chat and said, in all fairness, people just like Pretty Lady being bad, Lamau. I think that's why so much fan art exists. Oh, I totally agree. That's kind of why I did my Dark Ray before Dark Ray was a thing. Thank you. I about had a heart attack in a grocery store when the teaser for Rise of Skywalker came out, and
everyone started texting you.
Everyone started texting me because I had done that cosplay in 2017, and I was like, oh my god, they did it just for me. That's actually a cosplay that I could bring to Japan, although I don't know if I'd have to bring the lightsaber.
It's a lot.
But other than the lightsaber, it's like just the dress and the belt. So it's like really easy and compact to pack, except for the lightsaber.
Lightsaber's a lot. Cerveza Crystal, I think we could get over there.
No,
no problem.
I don't know. That would take up a lot more room in our suitcase than a lightsaber.
That is incorrect.
It is not.
Okay, wait then.
Those foam things are huge.
The lightsabers are huge.
But you can
they'll fold
them.
flatter than the blade and the handle, and at least the handle bends in half, but there's no way.
Ain't no way. Maybe we could just bring the hilt and convince someone to give me the blades or let me use some. We could ship them to Japan ahead of time. That would cost so much money.
Yep.
You're right. Everyone would think Cerveza Crystal was a much bigger hit than my Dark Ray. Jesse has the next super chat. I'm rewatching the Rome HBO series, and I forgot how many Star Wars actors Kevin McKidd, Ray Stevenson, Carrie Condon, and Indira Varma are present. I don't. Did you ever watch Rome?
No,
I didn't. I
and
don't. I didn't.
I would like to. A
I
lot
heard it
of,
was steamy.
I mean, yeah, it was like kind of a precursor to Game of Thrones in a lot of ways, and I think it's either that or Deadwood. I like part of the Game of Thrones lore involves those shows. Maybe both of them or just one of them, but like those were really expensive shows to produce, and then they shut those productions down. I think to do Game of Thrones, which was like way more expensive, but it was a huge hit, and so I I do think I think it was Rome because I feel like a lot of character actors came from Rome over to Game of Thrones
Mm.
as kind of like a sorry, sorry we canceled your show.
Iha just says Game of Rome's.
But yeah, I've heard it's very good. There's very few things that people talk about on HBO that are like real bad.
Yeah. I keep thinking about that Benny Gesserit show, the Dune one.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of people say that I would probably like it, but
We can binge it. It's only like 6 episodes and it's all out.
oh, it's all out.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I might want to do that one day. Although I really am enjoying our Last of Us rewatch. We just rewatched the Bill and Frank episode. It's
Before I
so
started it,
good.
I was like, I'm gonna put on the sad one, and then I realized every other episode of this series is the sad one. So, but yeah, that show did a great job adapting that game.
It really did. And did you say you wanted to replay the
Yeah, I want to
game?
replay too.
Because I do want to see that replayed.
Because I've replayed one I know backwards and forwards. I've played that game like 4 or 5 times. Two, I've only played once. So there are very key moments that I remember from it, but I would like to refresh my memory before we go into season two.
Yeah. I'm I'm garbage at most games, but I am especially hot garbage at like stealth games. And I found that out real quick playing Outlaws. I was like, "Oh, this might not be for me even on like the easiest mode." But I love watching it. And I'm invested in the story of Last of Us now. And I remember seeing parts of you playing the second game, so I kind of know the gist of what happens already. So I'd like to like try to pay attention to the story a little more.
Also, just as a game, it's fantastic. But there are parts of it that I'm genuinely scared to get back to.
Henbra says, "Are you still planning on watching Daredevil season 3 before Born Again comes out in March?"
I'll try to. Yeah, I do want to.
He's trying to get me to do it. Well, we had like a bunch of shows kind of like that we were wanting to rewatch, and every time he brings that one up, I'm kind of like, I don't know why I'm not like into Daredevil. I know I
You
would
liked
be.
the first season.
I did, and I don't think I watched the second because I didn't even remember there was a second season.
The second one was the one with Punisher in it. Uh, and then yeah, we didn't like Defenders, so we didn't keep going.
Yeah.
But I've heard that Daredevil season 3 is very good.
I mean, I loved Penguin, and I didn't really know what to think about it.
I mean, the tone is very similar.
Yeah.
Like Kingpin is a mobster gangster.
I like what's his name? Uh
Vincent D'Onofrio?
the actor that plays Daredevil.
Oh,
Charlie something?
I forget.
I like his version of Daredevil a lot, and I loved his cameo in She-Hulk, where they just like hook up.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I don't know. Charlie Cox.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, chat. We'll have to look and see how long the season is.
It's 13 episodes.
Okay.
It is kind of long compared to other shows, but I mean, I think that's good.
How long are the episodes? Do you know?
I think they were like 45 minutes to an hour.
I saw that I don't remember the name of the show, but the Game of Thrones spinoff,
Oh, the Dunk and Egg show?
Dunk and Egg.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
I saw it was going to be 6 episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, that story is not as expansive, so
I figured that maybe it was just going to be a shorter thing because it was a spinoff and it wasn't going to be a big, huge story. But I also saw that I always want to call him J.R.R. Martin because I get his name confused with Tolkien. George R.R. Martin made like a blog post about the updates that just came out about the show. And he may have fixed it by now, but he shared like a YouTube fake trailer in the blog post and everybody was like, George, no. No, George, it's fake.
get him off the internet.
Get him off the
get
internet.
him writing Winds of Winter.
Well, I was like, did he watch this fake trailer and like
Maybe.
it enough to put it in this post? Or did he just like assume a trailer was out, go and find the link, and then post it in there? Hopefully it was the latter. Yeah, he's apparently been writing Winds of Winter since 2016.
Yep. I remember when Dance of Dragons came out.
He's not finishing that book.
I mean, that's book 6 out of 7.
He's not finishing neither of those books.
Unless he pulls like a Jim Butcher, hey, here are the next 2 Dresden files. And that's why it took me so long, because I wrote 2 books and here they are. So unless he does that, I'm like, there's probably not 2 more books coming out.
I wonder if he's just kind of given an outline to other writers.
He has said, so the Wheel of Time books, Robert Jordan wrote those, and he passed away, and I think gave his notes passed on to Brandon Sanderson, I want to say. I'm not that well versed in like high fantasy literature, but someone else came along and finished the Wheel of Time, and I think George R. Martin said he was not going to do that.
Samuel Rogers says last month he admitted he might not finish the series. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think it would be hard to motivate yourself after people didn't really respond to the final seasons of Game of Thrones. Okay. I was like, did I do something wrong on the other one? Never mind.
I mean, yeah, I agree. But so the stuff that happens with Dany and all that and the end of Game of Thrones, has that happened in the books that are out?
No.
So that will happen.
Probably not. I doubt it'll be exactly as it happened in the show.
We'll probably get a lot more context, and it'll probably be done.
I would like to think that it will make a lot more sense in the book, but now that we know where the story is basically headed, because it was a theory that Dany was a crazy Targaryen back when book 5 came out. Probably before that too.
I would have supported her as a crazy Targaryen till the end.
I mean, you didn't when the show came out.
What do you mean?
Like when people were theorizing that she would do what she did and like massacre everyone.
And I was here for it.
I thought you didn't like that.
No. I was like, burn them all.
Well, what didn't you like about the finale?
I just didn't like.
You didn't
I
like
didn't
that
like
she
that
died?
she died.
Okay, that's fair.
That show had us rooting for her the entire time, and then she like does something crazy and dies.
It feels like it comes.
I mean, I did not read the books. I did not know the story ahead of time. So as a purely a TV show watcher, I was like emotionally wrecked after that. I was like, no, I can't be a part of this. I don't like it. But I didn't go on the internet and like complain about it. Maybe I made like one tweet, but it didn't ruin my life. PLD Projects has another super chat. Thank you, PLD. Didn't know you guys read Butcher. On Reddit, someone posted that they weren't sure if Butcher would be able to finish Dresden Files, and I had never considered it. That broke my heart.
Why not?
I don't know. He's not old, is he?
No.
We met him.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I have to read books 16 and 17 still because I feel like...
Maybe because he just has so many plans for them?
I mean, he was supposedly going to have, 20 or so mystery books. And then there was going to be a big-ass trilogy, he called it, to finish it all off. So I thought there were going to be like a total of 23 books.
PLD says he's getting older, but he has 8 books left.
So...
Or like 8 books left.
That seems reasonable. I mean, there was a time where he was like cranking them out.
One a year.
So, yeah, I don't know. But...
Man, I haven't read those since before Peace Talks. What was the one before Peace Talks?
We read 15, Skin Game.
I don't know if I read Peace
You
Talks.
didn't read Skin Game?
No, I read Skin Game.
Oh, okay.
I said before Peace Talks. Because I have not read Peace Talks. I know we have it.
I was pulling it out for me because I didn't remember. Yeah, Peace Talks. I have it. I haven't read it either. Because I started it and I was like, I don't remember a lot of these people.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to reread it all.
And PLD says Skin Game is my fave. Skin Game was great from what I can remember.
It was awesome. It was like kind of short compared to... They were getting like really long and then Skin Game came along and I was like, oh, it's like 300 pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a crazy phenomenon that I read all those books. I don't remember what was going on in my life that allowed me to read all that.
You were at work at KEH and you just popped in the...
Yeah, you're right. I was able to listen to audiobooks literally all day at my job. Like, I didn't have to talk to anyone at my old job. So I just listened to audiobooks and podcasts all day. Matthew sent a super chat in and said, Molly, you have an exquisite head shape.
I've always thought that.
I got a small head. I have to buy like children's size hats. I thought I was gonna have to buy children's size glasses, and I'm lucky that I found these because every pair of glasses I tried on just like fell off my face. But that is not a compliment that I often get, so thank you, Matthew. Alternate Junkie, thank you for the super chat. I've had the Onyx Cinder since Christmas. Can't wait to put it together. Hopefully I see you guys in Japan. I was able to say hi in Anaheim and London. Cheers.
We'll be there.
We'll be there. I'm excited to go to Japan.
We need to think of actually start planning things.
No more thinking.
We should.
No more.
We got to decide what we're gonna do.
I mean, we'll figure it out when we get there. We have a couple things in mind.
I guess we do have to wait until February 1st. I should figure out if we we entered the lottery to go to the Nintendo Museum. So once we know whether or not we're doing that, we can start planning some things.
I just want to eat ramen and sushi and all the fun snacks from the konbini until I pass out every day. It's just me eating until I can't eat
I mean, that's
anymore.
most of our vacations of like, let's just find something to do until we want to eat again.
That's why we end up walking so much. It was like, we got to walk this off because we got another fun meal planned.
I've heard Japan is a walk-heavy city.
Good.
Both of Jod's faces are angry looking, so that's appropriate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no smile.
Wait, what does his hair look like? Does he have the receding hairline?
He's got a little widow's peak.
Not as much as they could have made it, but I'll allow it.
I like that they gave him one of the like old Lego pirate guns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it does look old-timey, like a musket gun.
Yep.
That's funny.
Those are the exact old pirate models, except they used to be like brown.
Oh. That's cute. No Concept said, gotta hit up the Ghibli Museum. Yeah, we need to watch some more Ghibli movies.
I do. I've only seen now Princess Mononoke.
We gotta watch...
I want to watch Kiki's Delivery Service.
Okay.
It looks cute. I want to watch Kiki.
I want to watch The Boy and the Heron, because that's
the new one, right?
Kind of recent, but that one's great. Spirited Away is great. What's the Howl's Moving Castle is good. I need to like sit down and figure out which ones I have seen, because I haven't seen them in a long time. And yeah, I used to be obsessed with Princess Mononoke, and when we did our rewatch, I remembered it was kind of gory, but not to the extent, because we were watching it and Alex was like, oh my god.
Well, it comes out of nowhere. Like, it starts with like kind of cute animation, and there's like a monster, and oh, he gets a little hurt on his arm, but then all of a sudden he's like using a bow and arrow to shoot people's arms off and pin them to trees. I was like, oh my god.
Decapitated.
Just comes out of nowhere.
See, it's crazy because I don't remember any of that, but the gore that I remember watching it as a kid, as a like, I wasn't a little kid, but I was in like middle school, I guess. I remember more of the animal stuff, like the boar at the beginning when the like possessed boar, when he dies and like just falls apart. Yeah. I just remember being like, oh no, like so freaked out as a kid. And yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it, but there's some other stuff that happens with the animals that I'm just like creeped out by. And the little guys in the woods creeped me out.
I liked them.
Watching it again, I thought they were really cute. And you kept pointing out all the similarities to the Zelda games, which was fun. Oh, I thought we had... Did you already open the last bag?
This is the last bag, yep.
We're on the last bag. I think we're gonna do it. If you want to be scarred for life, watch Grave of Fireflies.
I've heard that.
Actually, on second thought, don't watch it.
I've heard that one's a rough one.
Is that a Ghibli?
Yeah. I think it's very real, though. It's not... From what I recall, it's not very fantasy. I think it's, like, based off of the nuclear attacks.
Well, I love a depressing film.
I was just like, maybe stop dancing, though.
Okay. I didn't know what it was about, but, like, I'm pretty big into horror, and, like, I watch a lot of depressing documentaries and stuff. So that could be fun. Charles from accounting has the next super chat. Thank you. Do you think the armor the characters wear on the cover for Trials of the Jedi will end up being in the actual book? Or do you think it's more concept art like Light of the Jedi?
I think it's going to be in the book because they have put out different.
I want to see what they look like on the cover of Light of the Jedi.
They've put out several pieces of concept art with them in their armor. The Echoes of Fear comic that came out today, Wreath Silas is wearing like bam braces and stuff. So I do think that they're all about to armor up.
Oh, this is like the special cover, so.
That one is the actual cover.
Yeah, they're not wearing any armor in this one, which is interesting.
Well, they didn't wear armor in the book either. Like, they kind of militarize over the course of.
No, I know. I think that says a lot about where the story went. They're all just in their fancy clothes.
Do it again.
Did we get confirmation if the Wookiee on the cover was Burry or
Kelnaka? Not that I've seen. I think it's Burry.
I think it would have to be, but then I tried to look up close to the picture and it did look like he had those head tattoos.
But... It kind of looks like Kelnaka, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me to have Kelnaka go on this mission.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Buryaga has been a primary character from book 1. And they have kept, like, something I've been a little frustrated about with the High Republic is they keep introducing more characters. And I'm like, let's focus on the people we have, because things are wrapping up. It's already a big cast. It was a big cast from day 1.
Yeah. Charles from accounting said, I think Kelnaka is going to be in the comics.
He is. So, like, that's why it does kind of make sense for him to possibly be in the book, but I would assume it's Burry on the cover.
Giovanni says, Kelnaka going instead of Burry would mean no stakes for Kel. We know he lives till the Acolyte. Yeah. With Burry, we don't know if he dies or not. Man, after the stress they put us through with Burry, they can't kill him.
I don't know.
I mean, they can.
They sure can.
They shouldn't.
Well, I think I'm missing a piece again, but I'm just going to move on.
Is it under there?
Yes. Thank you.
I can see in places that you cannot.
Glasses.
Thanks, glasses. Maybe you need glasses.
It was just hidden.
Charles also said, I'm so scared for Elzar and Avar. Yeah, after reading Temptation, I'm kind of like, I think Avar is gonna die, but then I'm like, maybe both of them die, which will be really, really sad. But if they go out kind of like season 2 of For All Mankind, it'll be sad, but if it's to like save everyone and everything,
yeah,
then
I could see that.
So be it. But I don't think Elzar survives the death of Avar, which is why I'm like, both of them have to die. If one dies, I think they both go. And that makes me sad saying it out loud.
Remember on our book club, we were talking about the idea that maybe someone's going to go and stay on Planet X. So the Echoes of Fear comic has established that a Jedi found Planet X before, and we don't know what happened to him. So I'm kind of expecting them to get there. and he'll still be alive.
And crazy.
Maybe not, because Planet X, it strengthens your connection to the Force. So I wonder if he's just fine,
Hmm.
and if he's been guarding the planet,
Just like, is it like,
or trying to guard the planet.
'cause
Oh, you know what did you read Path of Vengeance?
it sounds familiar. Which one was that?
That's the one where Marta Rowe goes to Planet X and they see some really crazy stuff.
No. I
So
think I started it.
I think on our book club we considered there's like a being there that's called the Protector.
That was phase 2,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Marta Rowe. Okay.
There's a being there called the Protector, and it was like this crazy, not monster, it was kind of helpful. And we were like, what if it's that guy? What if he went there and like turned into the Protector over?
What, do they not describe what it looks like?
I mean, it doesn't look like a human.
Oh.
But we were just throwing out wild theories.
What does it look like?
I don't remember. Like big, like a, I think it was described as kind of like a gorilla
Oh.
like thing, like big creature chasing them around.
Yeah, I haven't read anything with Planet X, so I don't know anything about that. I skipped most of phase 2, and I'm kind of like, at this point, I don't know that I would ever go back and read any of it. Just got to be too much. Yeah, I wonder if it's like Dagobah, if time feels like it goes by differently
That'd
there.
be funny.
So yeah, if there is a Jedi there and they go and find them and they're like, do you know what year it is? And they're like, nah, I'm having a great time.
The only issue with that Protector theory is that, you know, Markion Rowe showed up and stole a bunch of nameless eggs. So he's not doing a great job of protecting.
I think the Nameless are like a hive mind, and if the Jedi can find something on their home planet to take care of, I think they'll all either not necessarily perish, they might just like turn back into what they were originally.
We've got to finish Tears of the Nameless.
I know. Do I not know what I'm talking about?
I was about to like start saying some stuff, and
You're about
like,
to actually me.
I was about to theorize based on information you don't have.
Yeah, I need to finish that book. Austin sent a super chat in and says, Alan Dean Foster, why do you think he's only done novelizations and no original stories, and have you considered interviewing him?
I don't know. I don't know why he...
I mean, that might just be a writer preference. Like,
what's going on here?
Star Wars is pretty intimidating to do anything for, so he might just prefer doing novelizations instead of original content.
Yeah, like, I don't know much about him outside of the novelizations he's done in Splinter of the Mind's Eye. I wonder if he did... Maybe he just likes writing his own stuff.
Yeah, and like, as far as interviews, unless they go to conventions that we are at or come out with like new stuff, we typically don't get chances to interview authors. But he might go to conventions, I don't know.
Oh, that's how that goes. Yeah, if he ever comes to Dragon Con, like, that's anytime we go to Dragon Con, I just like pull up the guest list, Control F Star Wars, and then I submit for interviews for just about everyone, and some I get and some I don't.
Charles from accounting put a spoiler from Tears of the Nameless in the chat, and I am working very hard not to read it. But honestly, like, I wouldn't really mind if I got spoiled at this point. But I'm so close to finishing the book. Giovanni says, people say writing for Star Wars is so constricted, but then you have Dr. Aphra literally adding batshit levels of new lore every 4 issues. I mean, comics you can really do a lot with.
I do wonder, yeah, what conversations happen with stuff like Afra, where, yeah, they're doing crazy stuff.
Like
But,
what?
like force sensitive fungus that can manifest as a ghost and haunt people,
I mean, that's similar to the Drungear.
I guess. But, like, it's weird. I mean, I liked it. That's why I love Afra, because they're always doing weird stuff.
I like that she's got a USB arm.
Oh yeah, I love her Electra tattoos.
That is cool. Force sensitive ghost fungus sounds cool.
But I do think, yeah, the comics, you can get away with weirder stuff there. Books too. I mean, it's on-screen stuff that I think fans get all worked up over. That's where people will be like, "Oh, I can't believe they did this," and I'm like, "They did that years ago. You just weren't aware."
Sure. Pigpen says probably the weirdest stuff we've seen in live action was the hyperspace whales. If they showed Star Weirds in live action, it'd traumatize people.
Yeah.
What is that?
Dr. Afra. Uh giant space witch monster thing, not
Wait,
witch.
it's called Star Weirds?
Yeah, it's a star weird. And it's just Google it. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a freaky mummy looking.
Ooh, mummies.
Yeah. Shakti and Ayla Sakura trapped it in like this.
Star Weird Queen?
Maybe.
I'll just Google Star Weirds. Ooh. It looks like the Stranger Things dude.
Yeah, kind of. Vecna.
Vecna, yeah. That's cool. And creepy.
But it's very big. It's not human sized.
Oh, and Luke sees it?
Mm-hmm. Luke and Daphra run into it together.
They're like, what the heck?
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Google Star Weirds if you're curious. Honestly, that kind of stuff is right up my alley. It's like creepy skeleton. It's got it kind of feels like poltergeist monster. I like it. I would not be traumatized. Let's do it. It was trapped in a bell or something, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Did you have to ring the bell?
I can't remember if it was trapped because the bell was ringing or if it was like in the bell. I feel like they broke the bell and then that let it out.
They cracked the bell.
I can't.
Classic.
I can't quite remember.
Austin said, I just read the first Afra annual, and Black Chrysanthemum literally gets metal hands and fights as a gladiator. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he's already a crazy strong Wookiee, plus he gets metal hands.
Yeah, they kind of took that away and they gave him the brass knuckles instead.
That's OP.
Because, I mean, it would have been hard to convey that this Wookiee has metal hands, but it was funny every time he would punch someone. I'm like, they're dead.
They're dead.
Like, you just got punched with metal hands, friend.
That's like a punch from SM-33.
Yeah.
The only reason Jod survived that punch was because of his helmet.
I mean, Vane got, like, punched through a wall by SM-33 and he was fine. If
He was kind of punched in the gut, though. I bet.
Kenobi gets kicked around by Grievous, and he's fine. Like,
Yeah.
being punched is not that lethal in Star Wars unless you're a stormtrooper.
Maybe there's like some kind of force training where it teaches you how to like absorb a punch.
Sure. I mean,
Let's
that's a
say
thing
that.
monks do, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean like uh there's like stuff about that in old karate movies, I think. Just like learning how to take a punch. Pigpen says, "Watch a Star Weird show up in Skeleton Crew season 2." I'm here for it. Season 2, put some weird stuff in there. I want to see SM33 fighting in like a gladiator ring. I liked his like blaster absorbing shield that just got hotter
got
and
hot,
hotter and
yeah.
hotter, and then he could use that to like burn people. That was so sick. I'm gonna miss him.
He's not going anywhere. He's fine.
Yeah.
That's it. It's done.
Are we done?
I'm done. And I've loaded all the guns.
And you what? Oh, you loaded all the guns.
Uh-huh. That's cool. This is the thing that in it was like
swap the main camera to the Lego cam.
right. One of those videos that they did with like we're showing the kids and Jude Law all their toys. The second Jude Law started playing with the engines on the Lego, I was like, I want that.
It is really cool that they swivel just like the show. Does the Onyx Cinder split into like it does in the show? It does not, or it's not meant to. That is cool.
It's so easy. Sorry, KB. I just knocked KB over.
That is neat. How do you want to store it though? Engines up or down?
I guess if it's landing, it would come down like that. So that would be its landing mode. Dang it. Dang it. They're all so hard to stand up.
Lord Husk, thank you for the super chat. Does Neil like turtles? Of course he
Neil
does.
loves turtles.
Oh no, I missed one from Scotty Heron. Sorry, Scotty. Coming in late after a late lunch with a friend, but who wins in a fight? One Rancor-sized Tuca cat or 20 Tuca cat-sized Rancors?
I'm going to go with the 20 smaller Rancors.
Ooh, I was gonna go Rancor-sized Tuca cat. Because it could just eat them up.
But 20 vicious, I mean,
yeah,
I feel like they could crawl all over and just bite, and you would have trouble.
Maybe. But I feel like the Tuca cat would be fast. But maybe not if it's big. These are the important questions. Whether or not Neil likes turtles and Rancor-sized Tuca cats being fast or not. Oh, Austin agrees. The small Rancors.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
I know what I'm talking about.
I guess we'll never know. Because that's never going to happen. Unless it does in one of Afra's comics.
Yeah. That would be the place for it.
Charles from accounting says, it's only done if you bury it in your backyard. You're right.
It's true.
I don't want to do that.
It would have been
but
if we had finished it a week early.
We could have buried it in the snow. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been fun. We had a bunch of plumbing issues last week and people coming and working on our house, and they had to tear up our entire lawn.
Oh yeah.
And then we could have just tossed that down in the ground and let
I was like, we could do like a time capsule while there's a huge hole in our yard.
Yep.
But yeah.
Could have buried it very easily.
But we would had to have buried it in a very specific spot near the top so that the door was peeking out.
Yeah.
And then we could go in. Does
And
the door
upside down. Put it upside
and
down.
upside down. Does the door open?
No, I mean you
Yeah.
can open the side, but it doesn't have like a little airlock the same way.
Yeah. That's my only gripe with some of the Lego sets. I just want them to be more interactive.
This one's like a little playset. Look,
Who'd you knock off this time?
Jod. It's just Jod.
Oh, it's just Jod. Just Jod. That does look cool on the inside. I wish this came with SM33 though.
Yeah.
I'd rather have him than Jod. Just because Jude Law's in it. Who cares?
They'll put out like the other version of the Onyx Cinder.
You think they would?
Maybe, and then you'll get SM33 with that.
I mean, I think that would be awesome. I don't know if they would, especially if the series is over.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be a cool UCS set one day.
Mm. It is a ship that like everybody seemed to really be impressed by.
I loved it. If they did make a version that could pop the back out, I'll definitely get that.
Even if you could just like build it with the armor and then just take all the armor off.
That'd be neat too.
That would be really cool. I'm sure there's a custom kit like that being worked on as we speak. Oh, Hilo wants us to be done, so I guess we better be done.
I'm stepping on all your plastic.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you for tuning in, hanging out, and asking some fun questions. We appreciate it. We are going to get back to building Jabba's sail barge, I think, next week.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's a big set, but I'm going to go to Target and I'm going to get that Grogu set and I'm going to build it at some point. So when
I'm going to go check your email and see if you ordered it.
Well, yes, I'm going to figure that out first.
I don't think you did.
We'll figure that out and then we'll let you guys know. But thanks again for tuning in and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.